Hello everyone and welcome to episode 10 of the TW9 Dragon Gate save here on the channel. As it is Glorious Gate, and we'll be seeing the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, take on Masaki Machizuki for the Dream Gate title. We'll also be seeing the Triangle Gate title matchup, as we'll be seeing the Blood Generation team of Shima, Don, Fuji, and Shingo take on the champs, of course, of Do Fixer, as Horiguchi, Saito, and Kota Ibushi. We'll also be seeing, of course, the loser must disband matchup, trios match. It will be the Italian Connection versus the Florida Express with Kensuke, of course, the Florida brothers. Going to be a fun one. The full card is, as followed. Of course, we already talked about the big three matches. We're also going to see Aigon Lisu versus Do Fixer. That's going to be Naoki Tanasaki with the Ninja Runners, and Aigon Lisu's three members will be Shuji Kondo, Hiro, and Kudo, I believe, is what will be that matchup. So we'll have three trios matches on the card. The singles matchup, AJ Styles and Kagetora. We only have AJ for two more shows. We're going to use them on the first day here for the tour, then on this final day. That way we can, use him up. But also, because he lost on the previous big show, I wanted to give him a match on this big show to at least give him a nice showing for the crowd. And plus, he's AJ Styles. But Naruki Doi and Hayato Jr. Fujita taking on Gama and Stalker Ichikawa. Gama's actually going to get signed by Noah. I'm not going to put in a deal for him. We'll let him be. We'll let him go, because we're kind of wasting money with some of these contracts anyways. Especially Kagetora's. Again, just $10,000 a month is a crazy contract for him. He's the third highest paid guy. Shouldn't be anywhere close to that high of a spot. But it is what it is. We could release him. But again, it would cost us about $60,000. And we just don't have that type of money to spend and get rid of. As far as maybe potentially upgrading the live event, it would be $5,000 a night. So I guess we could do that, but I don't know. At the same time, it's probably a bad idea, because we're already losing money pretty regularly. I just don't think it'd be really necessary. For this tour, though, it's going to be a little bit on the smaller side again. I feel like the way we're kind of doing these tours is it's kind of like we, the Primal Gate was kind of a medium-sized tour, a longer tour for the Brave Gate tour, then two short ones with the Rainbow Gate and the Glorious Gate. The Mayhem Gate, the Gate of Mayhem, will be probably a little bit on the medium side, and then another kind of medium-sized one or maybe even a long-sized one, honestly. It really just kind of depends on how we want to do the June tour, but that's the plan is, at least, and we're probably going to do the Kobe Festival. Well, I think we're going to do that early, compared to what happened in real life, just because I think that's such a kind of staple point of Dragon Gate, and it'd be nice to set that up early while we can. And plus, it already kind of happens around that time anyways, in real life, around June, so that would just make a lot of sense to do. But also, again, we could go with something like in July, have the anniversary show, or have an anniversary gate or something along those lines. That would make a lot of sense to do. But also, there's going to be the Everyday Pro Wrestling kind of series of matches are happening as well during the summer. But yeah, there's a lot of different variables we can do. Another thing, too, is probably we'll do the Summer Adventure Tour probably during July next year. At least that's the plan. That way we'll crown our Twin Gate champions during the Summer Adventure Tag League. We might even do that in June. Who knows? We might switch it up a little bit. But, yeah, that's at least the plan. I want to talk about kind of the schedule a little bit, because it's kind of a little wonky, because there's so many kind of changing parts throughout each year. There's going to be probably different variables of things going on. But this one, though, the Glorious Gate Tour, with Danielson and Machizuki being the main event of it, I think it's going to be a hell of a show. We're at least the economy is rising finally, but it's a little too late, I think, for really to help us out. unfortunately for us. See if we can get a 500-seater if we can. Perfect. Minokamo Central Gymnasium. Kodo Oshi is one to hang out, sure. Yeah, the basic safety training drills for everybody. We signed Tozawa, but of course, because it's the first of the month, we're going to have to wait a little bit. But Jinkei Oraguchi pulled a great rib on everybody and got everyone laughing. Way to go. Everybody's feeling pretty good now about the tour. So our opening matchup, Gamma, BB Hawk. Is Gamma's going to beat BB, as far as obviously falling off of what happened at the final show. Also, Hero and Kudo versus the Ninja Runners. Taiji Shimura is going to beat Kudo here, obviously building up to the Trios match on the final show. Also, Sakiko Machine's going to take on Shima, since this has not happened before. They've done a couple of tags where Ichikawa and Sakiko Machine have teamed up, but hasn't been a singles match yet. And we, figured why not. As far as, we'll have Kinsuke do that. Yeah, and then swap that. I'll let Shima agent this. That way, we can get him some experience while we can. Also, the pre-tape that's going to air for the TV show. Basically, a candid promo from Dragon, talking about how hard he's been working and how he's been proving he's the best pure wrestler in the world, the best technical wrestler in the world. And coming here to Dragon Gate has been a huge opportunity to beat AJ Styles like he did, and now he's being able to get potentially another championship the first time. Because I'm pretty sure by this point, I don't think Dragon, they held they had the junior heavyweight tag team titles, him and Curryman, but he hasn't had a singles, Japanese title, so that would be something maybe potentially he's looking for, to be the pure champ and to be the Dream Gate champion. But yeah, of course, he's the man. It is old Dragon. That promo's probably going to be bad, because again, there's not like a thing where you can have, because it's a pre-taped and it would be aired for the TV broadcast, it would be under subtitles, but that's just not a thing in TEW. But AJ Styles and American Dragon, they're going to team up here. They're going to take on Machizuki Hayato Jr. Fujita, which AJ is going to get the win. Beating Hayato Jr. Fujita again, I feel like we needed to give him some wins after losing to Dragon. And we're also going to have Do-Fixer, Jinkei Oraguchi and Kota Ibushi. It's Don Fuji and Kagetora, which we know that team does well. And, Do-Fixer's a fun team of Horiguchi and Ibushi, but probably will be solid as a little co-main. So, 3 tags, 2 singles, got the pre-tape promo, pretty straightforward stuff. We'll cut maybe a minute off of something at least, maybe, probably a minute off of this, make it a 5-minute match. There we go. Just so we can go right at 55 minutes. And that way, you could add commercials and whatnot, or cut stuff around just to fill time. The Dragon promo, obviously, again with the language barrier, but he did his job. So that's all that matters here. It's a 32 for Gamma and BB Hawk. Gamma gets the one to Blitzen. Oh, also, I forgot. That was a 32, though. Not bad from Gamma. Again, he'll be leaving us, so it's not that big of a deal. But, I want to make sure Shima's not agenting any of those matches. Perfect. Alright, so Sakiko Machine and Shima. The Shoin gets it done for Shima and 436. Figured, again, we needed a comedy match, and Shima, we saw Don Fuji and Kagetora teaming tonight. I guess we could have used Naoki Tanasaki to keep the Do-Fixer blood generation going, but we went with this instead. Ishimura and Yoshitone, they do get the win, even though Hiro and Kudo did outperform them. They probably should have got the win here, but Ishimura gets the win with the Superstar Elbow over Kudo. 52 from Jinkei Oraguchi and Kota Ibushi, as they do get the win, even though they got outperformed. It's close, though, but Don Fuji and Kagetora did, oh, no, they didn't outperform. Never mind, I don't know what I'm thinking. They did outperform Ibushi and Horiguchi. But it was close, though. It still was close. As, yeah, it was a great win. Got the crowd hotter, too. For the rest of the show, our main event is 64. AJ and Dragon beating Machizuki and Hayato Jr. Fujita. Again, to have somebody that young to work with some of these, all-time talents is pretty great for Vegeta. What a win from the Gaijins here. The Styles Clash as well, getting the win for AJ. And obviously now for AJ and Danielson, they're not going to be on the rest of the tour until the end. Yeah, we making about $7,000 of profit from the show. Not too bad. Not too bad. Kong doing her thing for All Japan Women's. But yeah, I mean, as far as, I feel like this tour, it's pretty straightforward because we pretty much built it from the previous tour. So that's been some things hanging it up. But, yeah, we, got a couple of days left till the next show. But, again, money-wise, we've been losing a little bit of money. We did gain money, of course, in February, but really, we haven't lost a crazy amount of money, really, since November. So I think those days are behind us. We're on the right track of making money. We just gotta hope the economy kind of bounces back by the time we go under, potentially. But I don't think we will. I think we got a lot of wiggle room with us. And yeah, on to day 2 we go. Alrighty, so for the day 2 show, we have, of course, the pre-show basic and safety training drills. And now Tozawa's in the mix with that. Saki Ichikawa and the owner, Kashi Okamura, got into a huge row about something that had to be physically separated. Probably not the guy you want to be fighting. As, of course, for Tozawa's debut, it's him and BB Hulk against Gama and Kagatora. We're also going to see Marsha Isapa taking on Shima and Don Fuji. And then 3 of the Florida Express taking on the 3 of the Italian Connection of Yoshino, Yujiro, and, of course, Milano. So, obviously, this is going to open up the show, the tag match. And Gama's going to beat Tozawa. That's going to go about 6 minutes. Then we'll have probably, we'll start with, let's make sure he's Johnson, Florida. I'm thinking about it. Shima can agent that. Oh, yep, we forgot to change him. Back to this. There we go. Perfect. Alright. Oh, also, I forgot to edit Tozawa's weight in height. Because, yeah, his weight is a little too big. Height, it's close. Should be 5'7". But that's an easy fix anyways. 5'7". 156. Yeah, we'll put the minimum weight at 150. Maximum weight about 175. There we go. Oh, he doesn't have a moveset. It's odd. I'm assuming it's an undertoes and figurative. Maybe something like that. So let's go ahead and make sure that's a thing. Over here, I'm assuming it should now be that, but who knows? Nope, it wasn't. Tozawa. Oh, Jesus. Did I already switch? Okay, drop kick as a finish. Well, it's a Young Lion anyways, so that's probably his Young Lion finish at the time, so that's fine. Just the injuries, nobody else is at it. But yeah, also, Johnson, Florida, Yujiro. Yujiro's gonna get the win here, actually. It's gonna be a comedy match. But yeah, that's gonna be a win for Yujiro. Well, of course, he's the ref. God damn it. There we go. And then Iwasa and Yoshino, which Iwasa's going to win to make it 1-1. He's going to get the DQ win. And then Milano and Mishima, which, we're going to see Milano get the clean win. He's going to overcome the shenanigans and pick up the victory. But the main event, though, should be actually a pretty good tag match. And Shima and Don Fuji are going to beat Jinkei Oraguchi and Saito, as Ryo Saito losing with Horiguchi, but that's gonna be a pretty good match, though. All things considered. We need an angle, duh. For the angle, that is a good question, as we could have Gama cut a promo about how, again, these fucking youngsters are coming in here. Guess we could do that. Or we can have a Blood Generation promo. We'll do that. As they're hyping up the tag, the trios title matchup. They open the Triangle Gate title matchup. Now they are going to, as far as especially for Shima, here's a guy that has not been. He feels like at least that he's been away from the gold for far too long, and he's going to change that and rectify that on that show, getting the win for his team over, of course, Do Fixer. Just basically saying, hey, what you saw tonight's a little bit of a teaser what's going to happen at the Glorious Gate show. It's Blood Generation gonna get that victory. As far as having the show end with a promo is always a bit of a gamble, but I think they'll be okay. We'll see though. Yeah, Kinsuke's the agent. Just want to make sure that's set. Yep. And yeah, we'll have that be Hokuto. Here we go. Alright, perfect. So everything should be set. Yeah, 40 for the opener. Tozawa did pretty well, though, in his debut. He outperformed BB Hulk as Kagatora and Gama getting the win as the Blitzen from Gama over Tozawa in 5:44. As the Kawachi Junior High School getting 500 people packed in that son of a bitch. As Johnson, Florida outperformed him, which is hilarious. Poor Yujiro, Jesus Christ. I mean, I know it's a comedy match, but fucking Christ. He gets the win, though. The Miami Shine. 50 for Yoshino and Michael Iwasa, as Iwasa wins with the DQ. Of course, playing the shenanigans that is the Florida Express way of getting victories with those, the fake DQs. And Milano gets the win with the AT lock over Mishima. And, at least they win in this kind of trilogy of matches. We'll see what happens on the big show in the trios match. Yeah, as far as Saito and Horiguchi losing to Shima and Don Fuji, great little matchup though. Got the crowd buzzing. As far as went out there and stole the show, and Shima gets to win the Schwing of Jinke Horiguchi. Yeah, that promo was ass. Yeah, should have not finished the show with that, but hey, at least it was still a 55. It was very kind of him. But yeah, that angle was awful. Absolutely awful. Financial report, hey. It's a couple thousand. I mean, it's good. It's good. We're getting about $1,000 off of merch. The broadcasting revenue, basically the broadcast revenue and the merchandise is covering all the expenses, and we're just basically net gaining all the ticket sales. Which has been, it's been nice to see. We've been keeping on doing that the fucking Hammerstein Ballroom. It's kind of crazy. I mean, they've never really, changed the way that fucking building's ever looked. Still looks the same as it does, then, as far as it does now, in 2025. But yeah, Gama now is signed exclusively. We're waiting on that. He'll be with us for another, I think, couple, 20 days, 30 days. He is leaving, May 6th. So yeah, we got 30 days with him, so that's nice. We'll be able to use them for a little bit of the next tour and, of course, the rest of this tour. As on to the final tour date we go to, as on to day 3. Alrighty, so day 3, and the GOAT, Ebi-san, wants to work tonight. We are going to sign him, but it's not going to be for a match. We're going to have him go on an adventure and basically be the angle for the day. Young King Chol wants to be here. That's alright, we already got Ebi-san and Saito and Kenta Tamoko, I always forget how to pronounce it, but Kenta got into an argument with Saito, and luckily nothing crazy happened, and the basic and safety training drills. So yeah, the angle, which I fucking love it, the idea of him with, as far as basically being the correspondent for the television studio, as he going through basically the dojo and kind of what's going around with Dragon Gate and kind of all the office shit. But eventually, he's going to be trying to send it off back to the studio, and a fucking Triton's gonna go by his head and land into the wall, and he's gonna look over, and of course it's Stalker Ichikawa, which, then they both the big yells, and it cuts to black. Basically, hyping up the eventual colliding of two comedic geniuses, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Obviously, it's a pre-taped, and it is just going to be the adventures of Ebi-san Volume 1, because I'm sure we're going to have another one. Because I think we're just going to bring him on full time. I've been wanting to do it. I love him to death. Ebi-san. Not Evi-san. Ebi-san. Because I love that motherfucker. Obviously, he's just a little older to be like an active in-ring guy. But as someone that is kind of... And plus, he's a freelancer too, which I guess technically I could just... Could I talk him out of it, maybe? What's your career goal, Ebi-san? Yeah, that sounds about right. Damn, I thought there was a thing where you can ask him here, but I guess not. But, yeah, obviously, he's the man. I just love him to death, so anytime we can use Ebi-san, we definitely will be. I feel like that little angle's fun for what we need. Oh, yeah, we need to change back. Oh, he's already Johnson, Florida. Good. We must have... I probably forgot to change... Oh, no, we didn't. I thought we forgot to change it back for day 2. But, yeah, now Johnson, Florida, Yoshino. Yoshino's going to get the win there, obviously. To get a little win back after what happened to him on the previous show, and which will also mean the Florida brothers will take on Yujiro and Milano, which Milano's going to lose to Mishima. So, basically, Mishima gets the win back over Milano. Then Tozawa's going to take on Gama, which obviously Gama's going to beat the Young Lion. Yeah, we'll flip that. Oh, yeah, make sure that Johnson Florida's not reffing. Perfect. Yeah, we'll have Shima agent this match. They can get more experience. And, oh, yeah, we got that figured out. Perfect. So, our co-main and main. So, we got M2K, Do Fixer. Obviously, we can't really build anything with Danielson and Machizuki right now, since if we use them, we'd have to, like, bring them back. And, we'd have to start a whole new deal. So, what we're going to do is have Do Fixer with, Yoshitone and Taiji Shimori and Kota Ibushi take on Vegeta, Naruki Doi, and Machizuki, which Ibushi's going to beat Hayata Jr. Vegeta here. That's a nice little win. And then our co-main, Blood Generation versus Horiguchi and Tanizaki, as Shingo's going to beat Nuki Tanizaki. That could be the co-main. As M2K, Do Fixer, that could be the main. Actually, I think we're going to have that be in between the two. Yeah, 2 singles, and the tags, and then the trios. Yeah, I like that. I think that's going to flow pretty nicely. We'll bump this down to 5. That way it's a 55-minute show. Good shit. Yes, the Avengers of Ebi-san. Oh, he should probably make a cameo. Is what we need. Oh, is it now a thing over here? That, I'm assuming. Yeah. Maybe a cameo. Alright. 27. It's pretty hilarious. Wow. Fucked up the... It's destroyed everything. That's hilarious. God damn. Poor Ebi-san. Man. Lengthy angles. I mean, a 5-minute angle. I didn't think that was lengthy at all. Maybe we should have cut it down a little bit. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. This stunk as well. As Gama and Tozawa's the Blitzen from Gama, the old Man, the grumpy old man keeps on getting these wins. Oh, the young Lions putting them in their place. Yosino beating Johnson, Florida. Not bad at all there. To 53 for Blood Generation against Jinko Origuchi and Yuki Tanasaki. What a match, though. Honestly, this did a lot better than I anticipated. Pretty close match, honestly. A slight edge. It literally comes down to like a couple of points, but it was a hell of a match. It's crazy. Again, Shingo is just not really delivering as much as I would have hoped, but that's alright. This stunk. Yeah, as far as the Florida brothers and the Italian connection, Milano gets DQ'd. Mishima and Iwasa back to their dastardly ways. And a 56 for our main event, though. So yeah, Machizuki, Doi, Kota Ibushi all doing well. Golden Star Bomb from Kota Ibushi over Hayata Jr. Vegeta. Good stuff, though, nonetheless. Yeah, I mean, as far as the guys that are delivering, they're bringing it. Boy, that just Ebi-san and that angle stunk. I was hoping we'd bring him in. I figured he'd be a riot as an angle and a guy that could do comedy stuff, but that was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But as far as at least the tour days are over with, now we go to the Glorious Gate, and we will see how American Dragon will do in his first main event for Dragon Gate against Machizuki. Alrighty, so we start off with a sold-out Kintono Dome with a absolute shit fucking start. As, yeah. So with this, Stalker Ichikawa is wanting to join the cause with Gamma in taking out these young kids. So he's teaming up with him here. And Gamma was wanting to start off with Hayata Jr. Vegeta. Stalker Ichikawa begs him. He's like, no, don't do it. Let me take care of him. I'll start off the match. And immediately, when the bell rings, Hayata Jr. Vegeta shoots on him, gets the double leg. Eventually gets him to the point where it should have been via submission here, but it wasn't, because it should have been with the kid, getting that, the guillotine choke, chokes him out, and Stalker Ichikawa just looks like he's dead. He rolls over, you're gasping for air. Again, it being a comedy bout is kind of hilarious, because really it's not, in a way. The comedy is kind of built up with Ichikawa and Gamma. That's where the comedy's at, because it happens when the bell rings, so that's also why it's a minute 30. So that's kind of the comedy part of it, but immediately after that, Gamma wastes no time, kicks the shit out of him, puts the boots to him, and it leaves him laying still. He doesn't even wait for him to get back up. He literally just is so pissed. He just kicks the crap out of Ichikawa. So not a great night for him. And then here comes AJ Styles, who I thought for sure was going to turn the crowd around just by having AJ out there. But he gets the win, though, over Kagetora with Styles Clash in 550. And I'm sure, obviously, we'll be bringing him back unless TNA signs an exclusive deal or something, which they should, because obviously it's AJ Styles. Igon Lisu, though, beats Do Fixer as Shuji Kondo, pinning Nuki Tanasaki after the King Kong Lariat. Actually, a good performance from Igon Lisu. They performed pretty well tonight. 50 and 247s. Not bad. Not bad at all there. Just the crowd's still unclear. And wouldn't you know it, the Florida Express have beaten the Italian Connection. The Italian dream is over. Unreal. Yujiro, he probably wouldn't have tapped to Stranglehold Gamma. Part of me wants Kinsuke to maybe have actually dove into the Florida Brothers' ways, but with his own little spin on it, where instead of putting the chair over himself, he actually hits Yujiro with the chair, but then he also will pretend that he's been hit with the chair after he's hit him with it, and he puts it over his head, and So the ref will, like, be like, oh, what the fuck? He doesn't know what to do, and he's thinking, to try double DQ, but, he knows the importance of the match, so he just lets it be. Then Kensuke pretends like he's just been, woken up, like, oh my god, selling his head, and picks him up. Then he fucking just destroys him with the Northern Lights bomb. That would probably have been the finish, as Yoshino and Milano have to stand there and see their dreams end. Especially for Milano. Italian Connection over and done with. And afterwards, obviously, the dismay of Milano, who Yujiro is literally in tears because he knows that what this meant for Milano, and Milano's holding back tears. But Yoshino, though, he doesn't even get in the ring. He is still on the apron in the corner, and he just shakes his head and drops down and gets out of there. Does not go into the ring. Obviously, people grieve deep. People grieve differently, rather, Jesus, than for some people. Maybe he's going into the anger stage of grief instead of what Milano and Yujiro are going into. But yeah, the Italian Connection dead on this night. In our next match, it's title matchup, the trios matchup. Blood Generation get the win thanks to help. And that help being from the former Italian Connection member, Yoshino. My goodness, he runs in, attacks Ibushi, leading to the Schwing onto Kota Ibushi, and we have new champions. I mean, obviously, Shima, 75, 57 for Don Fuji, and a 34 for Shingo. Not the greatest of teams compared to, obviously, the pretty balanced and really good team now of Kota Ibushi, Jinkei Horiguchi, and Ryo Saito, but obviously the big talking point, and it was a 62, it was a good little co-main, is the man that has now joined the Blood Generation. And immediately for Shima with with Don Fuji and Shingo, and Kagetora's with them. Big night for Blood Generation and become the new Open the Triangle Gate champions, but immediately for Katsuya Ichikawa, who's doing this interview, and this is kind of more for the way we would have probably filmed this, is to film this either before the show actually started as like a pre-tape, which I think we actually did as a pre-tape. Let me see if I did it correctly. It doesn't say. But nonetheless, I'm assuming it didn't because it says they struggled going off script. But for Katsuya Ichikawa, asking Yoshino what the hell happened, what is going on, and Shima immediately takes the microphone from Katsuya Ichikawa, and then Don Fuji and Kagetora throw him out of the frame. And he's a fired up man, is Shima. He knew that it was too long for him to not hold any gold. Blood Generation, it was going to be this year. 2005 is going to be the year for Blood Generation. And he feels he's acquired maybe the biggest asset that he could for Blood Generation, and a man that is fired up and wants to prove a point in that he's not Yoshino anymore. He's not getting held down by Milano and Yujiro. He is Masato Yoshino, and he's out for blood. And Yoshino basically reiterates what happened during the Open the Brave Gate tournament. While he was out there busting his ass, they were over there making a fucking mockery of themselves. When he could have used their help, especially with the Open the Brave Gate championship opportunity in the finals with Naruki Doi. Now, this brings in Shingo, because Shingo, even though he's now the Open the Triangle Gate champion, he has a title match with Naruki Doi, because of course he beat Shingo, or Shingo beat Naruki Doi rather, during the tournament. So with Yoshino now joining us, of course, now Masato Yoshino, and a man who made it to the finals, cleared the block, but could not get it done on the big stage, as far as until that point he had cleared the block, I guess I should say, since there wasn't an actual, rematch there. A potential guy for the Open the Brave Gate championship for the Blood Generation. So there's a chance where if Shima or Don Fuji, they've already lost to Machizuki, maybe Masato Yoshino is the guy after Shingo beats potentially Naruki for the Open the Brave Gate Championship. We don't even need to see Masato Yoshino and Naruki Doi. He's just going to go right for Machizuki. And he could go for the Open the Dream Gate Championship and become the new champion. And they will have all the gold. Laying out these plans, Blood Generation, they might be men of their word. And this might be their year. And of course, our main event, Machizuki, American Dragon. Dragon kind of stunk it out there compared to, obviously, Machizuki. But 21 minutes, his second defense of the Open the Dream Gate Championship. Got the crowd hotter, though. And, man, deserved better color commentary. We don't even have a color guy. So I'm assuming not having the color commentator probably hurt it. Yeah, that definitely sure did. But, yeah, I mean, Dragon, I figured he would do a little bit better than he did in his last outing with us. But it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, a couple of different angles. So, with an attack, a kind of fallout from the unit disbandment match, and tough break for that only to get a 60. Because I was pretty happy with how the show went. Even this match itself didn't do all that well, but Aigon Lisu actually performed quite well. The angles kind of shit the bed, but really at times it could have been even worse. We usually have angles that are not that good, but it delivered there somewhat, but a 60. Obviously, Machizuki was tremendous tonight. I mean, fucking Masato Yoshino. With his new gimmick, new name, he's out for blood, and that heel turn, I think, is going to help out Blood Generation. And, of course, for Milano and Yujiro, now they're men without a country. What is next for them is definitely the talking point for the next tour. Made almost $70,000, not too bad. And we increased our popularity a good bit of places. Oh, Kansai's almost at a 55. Hell yeah. Good shit. As a fucking hacksaw. What a mustache on that guy, though. Tremendous. As for episode 10, it is in the books. What's also crazy about WWE, since they just did Backlash, we'll show off what WrestleMania was, because I looked at the card and I was like, oh my fucking god, 8 trains left, Test was left, Eddie went to OVW for a show. He has WrestleMania 21, Michaels and Benoit in the cage, which is not a bad idea, actually. That's a good little follow-up match from 20. But then Angle beats The Undertaker, stops the streak, ends the streak. Not only that, he retains his championship. Crazy main and co-main, and then Van Dam, Regal, The Rock, and Randy Orton in a 4-way. Jerry Lawler beat Batista in a tables match. I cannot believe that happened. The Terror Alert, that's Maven and Jerry. Let's see what the Mick Foley and the Dudleys took on Shelton Benjamin and Hurricane and Rosie, just random. And Noble in London was a cruiserweight title matchup to open up the show. Oh my god, Al Snow and Sergeant Slaughter was on the card. Wild stuff. Renee and Chavo with champs. Or I would challenge the champs, rather. Yeah, Billy Kidman shattered his kneecap or something. He did something. Oh, I meant to click on WWE's roster. So I remember seeing that. Yeah, he shattered his knee. Tough break. Oh my, does that say Paul Bearer's managing him? What in the world? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the AI for you. I'm assuming Taker's he's still managed by Paul. No, he's part of the Night Watch. Again, that's a kind of a sick name for a group. I don't hate that at all, especially with Taker's group. Is there a way to look at their stables? Am I an idiot? I thought there was. Yeah. Night Watch. Again, just very random that Kishi and Sky Tawati. But again, an idea where it's kind of Paul Bearer getting people as a part of this Night Watch, and Taker's kind of the just the head fucking motherfucker in charge. It would be kind of cool. The school is awful though. Then the Vandals, awful as well. An evolution though. Without Orton. Orton's already been kicked out. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. But yeah, what did they? Hopefully A-Train signed with New Japan and he's Bernard. Fuck yeah. Well, that works. Let's see what Test is doing. He goes. He's going to New Japan, which that would also rule. Prime Test, but at this point, unfortunately, I think kind of drugs and other personal demons really fucked him up. The steroid abuse really from Test was crazy though. Because he didn't need it. Motherfucker's already 6'7". Like you would have been just fine. But that would have been awesome. New Japan has got some fun ass shit going on. They just signed Eddie Edwards too. The Pentagon Black is working. Yeah, Bobby Lashley's working on toward scheduling, and fucking Bob Sapp's still over there working. God bless him. He just fought for the IWGP Heavyweight title. Him and Nagata. Fucking rules. I love how they barely use Bob Sapp, but him and the I forgot about that. Him and the G1 finals, him and Brock. God damn. Incredible. Incredible. Alrighty, well yeah, that will do it though for episode 10. The Gate of Mayhem. We'll get to set up the Gate of Mayhem. I think what we're going to do like a scramble match. Or not a scramble match. A championship scramble match. To where it starts with two guys, and every like 5 minutes a guy comes in, and then the match basically can only end after everybody's in there, and then it's elimination style. That type of idea to crown the number one contender. I think that's a good idea. Maybe though, at least that's the thought process right now. That might change. Because again, with Shima and we're definitely going to do, I don't think we've booked it yet, but we'll definitely be doing Shingo and Doi. So we'll go ahead and add that now while I'm thinking about it. Shingo. Because again, even though he is an Open the Triangle Gate champion right now, he did beat fucking Naruki Doi. There it is on the whole day 3. Looks like, yes, day 3. But yeah, I mean, obviously with that win is massive for him. Be able to battle for the championship now, as far as we'll just go ahead and Brave Gate. And then we just add it there. Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, and of course with Dragon gone, AJ gone, I don't know if we'll bring anybody else in for the Gate of Mayhem. I don't know if we'll bring like a surprise entrant. I have an idea for a surprise entrant to be an actual Japanese talent. We'll probably do that, because I do think having, again, a different type of challenger for Mochizuki is always nice. But yeah, I think we got 30 people right now. It's actually pretty crazy. I don't know why I keep on clicking on the roster, but I just want to keep looking to see how everything's going. Of course, Dragon Kid still out with that broken neck, and of course, poor fucking Nakajima. He'll be back though in December, so we're almost there. But yeah, we'll probably try and get a color commentator too, since our color team's pretty shit since we don't have one. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time for the Gate of Mayhem. Take care, everyone.